Welcome to Voices at the Table. I have a special guest. I've been trying to get this young lady for months and months. I finally got her. And matter of fact, she got a book signing coming up too, but she'll share a little bit about that. Uh, Give us a little bit about you and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Adrienne Buford, and I'm currently working as a peer recovery supporter,
Hmm.
and I like giving back to the community, so I really enjoy doing that.
Now, what inspired you about this book you wrote? It's about your life and trial and tribulations. Tell us a little bit about the book. What inspired you to write it?
Um, what inspired me to write it is I read a lot of other books that were
Right.
autobiographies, and I realized then I wasn't the only one. And that kind of inspired me to write a book so that other people can feel that went through some of the same experiences
Right.
I did, to
Right.
let them know that they're not the only ones either.
Right, right. Now I know, and I've been knowing you for a while, a couple of years. I know you're in recovery, just like me. I'm in
Hmm.
recovery, and a lot of people don't talk about the drugs and alcohol and mental health service, and because we in that field, and I think
Hmm.
that what made you write about that in your life and trouble tribulation. A lot of people don't talk about that none these days.
Absolutely.
But in this book, would that help a lot of sick and suffering?
Oh yeah, one thing that's interesting about my book, or unique about my
Right.
book, it covers a lot. I mean, I talk about in one chapter about losing a child. She passed away,
Hmm.
and a lot of parents have been through that, whether they talk about it or not.
Hmm.
It's a piece in there about that. It's about trauma when I was young, growing up, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that, and it eats them alive,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. Now, how did you overcome your trial and tribulations and reading the book and writing things down? You wrote things down through the years and you put it all together. How did this come about?
Well, when I first went to my first treatment
Hmm.
center, that's when I began to talk about stuff, because before, I at times I would talk about it, but then I would just stuff it and drink about it,
Hmm.
and I found out that it wasn't going anywhere, right? So that was my first introduction to getting things out.
Right.
We have to deal with stuff face on,
Right.
or it will deal with us, So reading other people's book, hearing other people's
Right.
stories, I felt like it was very therapeutic.
Right.
And like I said, my higher power, he gave me promptings to write a book. And
Hmm.
at first I wasn't sure if it was him, and I was like, who am I to write a book,
Right.
and
Right.
how am I going to get it published? And
Hmm. Right.
finally, here and there,
Right. Right.
I would write
Thank you.
a few things here and there, um, and it just all started coming
Hmm.
together
Right.
slowly but surely.
Right.
And I made a decision in 2024. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I just know I am going to do it. I'm going to step out on
Right.
faith.
Exactly.
And it just all came together.
Right.
And here we go.
Right.
It's right here.
Yeah. Now, since you work in recovery and I know you work in recovery and stuff like that, do you aspire the clients who you serve and what do you give them wisdom and the knowledge and you'll overcome so they can come through the trials and tribulations? Because a lot of people go through issues that meditate like depression, drinking and drugging, not sharing it, isolating
Hmm.
themselves. What do you give the people who you serve in your field, like mental health and the drug and alcohol treatment? Because I know you've been around for a long time. Let everybody know.
Hmm. Yeah, I just share my experience, strength, and hope. And you
Mm-hmm.
still have those people that do not want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they think it'll go away if I don't talk about it, but there are some people,
Mm-hmm.
and they get encouraged by you talking about yours. When you talk about yours, it gives them the courage to talk about their stuff. So in that way, that's how I help and just share my experience. Let people know you're not the only one. You do not have to let this destroy your life for all your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not the only one. We can overcome it, you know, and move forward from it. It's just something that happened. It don't have to keep ruining our
Right,
lives.
right. Now I'm reading the book right here, chapter 7, and I see you cannot fight City Hall. What do you mean about that?
Okay. It's funny you went to that chapter.
Yeah, see,
That
this voices
chapter,
at the table.
that chapter is talking about when I was in the thick of my disease and I had got in some trouble with children and family services. And I was going through courts fighting for my children.
Right.
And I was amazed at how some of the social workers and supervisors was handling not only my case but other people's cases, because we had started a group called Parent Support Network.
Okay.
It was a group for people who were either going through the system trying to get their kids back or
Right.
had already lost permanent
Right.
custody. And you know, I come from the street, so I was always I knew how people in the street move, like lying, scheming, covering up, just to get another one.
Hmm.
But I did not know that people downtown were like that. I thought they were professional, they don't lie, they're by the book. And that simply wasn't the case with some of our cases.
Hmm. Now, since you've been in this field for a long time and your experiences, I see like at City Hall, then maybe, you know, in your book, God put you in that position to help others
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, he did.
because you went to your trial and tribulations and the people supposed to have helped you at City Hall, they weren't very professional. They weren't trying to help nobody. Then once you got
Most
yourself,
of them, not all of them. There were some good ones, but
is that group still around? Uh,
Uh, no. A lot of the parents stopped coming to Parent Support Network because they were afraid of their social workers. Social workers back then, when they found out we were having that support group, which was a place where parents can just get their feelings out,
right, right.
they would discourage them from coming to our group. And because the parents were afraid, the ones who hadn't lost their children yet, they were afraid to lose their children. They shied away, and then the group just disbanded. Everybody went their own way.
Now, how long you been clean and sober?
I've been clean 24 years, and
Congratulations.
I've been sober 4 years.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
congratulations.
there was a period of relapse,
Mhm.
and I talk about that in a chapter in my book. When I lost my oldest daughter, I just couldn't deal with it. And it was a whole bunch of stuff that came after that. So I chose the lesser of the two evils, which was the drink.
Mhm.
I didn't
Right,
never
right, right.
pick the drug back up. And I learned the lesson from that too.
Now, tell everybody how you built your support group as you got sober, like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. How you create your support group? Because a lot of people don't have what you have. It don't have to be recovery, but a lot of people don't have no support. Now, how did you get your support strong as time going in early in your recovery?
I just went to meetings and I really didn't like look for a support group.
Okay.
It just was like talking to people and found some people who I had things in common with, and we just kind of clicked, you know. But as time went on, people would go their own separate ways, you know. But it's some people that's still there from 20 something years ago. It's just some people that's just gonna be there. And, you know, I start doing different meetings, meeting new people, different people that's in this walk, that's in this journey. And that's just how I meet them. We just start talking, or I'll hear them share at a meeting and be like, I can identify with that. Or they hear me speak, I can identify with that. We exchange numbers and hey, we go from there.
Yeah, because now these days, a lot of people don't talk about mental health services and the drug and alcohol, like the school shootings and, you know, and kids reaching out, but the parents don't really address it. Now, you know, with your book, it seemed like your book will help a lot of people. You know, let everybody know when your book's signing. what date
Oh yeah,
and the
I'm having a
location?
book signing at Garfield Heights Library on August 24th. That's not this Saturday. That's next Saturday at 2:45. So
Now how much do your book cost?
my book is $30 on Amazon.
Okay.
However, if you come to the book signing, you'll get the book for $10 cheaper. It's only $20, but you can't come to the library and pay for the book. It's no what you call it, soliciting up there. So you can cash out me, you can Zelle me, or you can just pay cash. And I have books right in my car, and I'll deliver it.
Now let the people know where the location, the address at. You're gonna be what date?
Excuse me, we're in April.
Yeah, I know, right?
April 24th, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Or is that the 25th?
I think the 25th.
25th at 2:45 at Garfield Heights Library.
And when you meet her, and again, if you're going through issues with mental health or drug alcohol issues, that'd be a good time to go there and just not get the book, but have a conversation with her, because everybody needs somebody, and especially dealing with these drugs and alcohol now these days, it's horrible, and the people always isolate. And this be a good time to meet her at her place and listen to her and get the book and just engage and build on change.
And some people, that's why they're drinking and drugging still, or they have a problem with going in and out. They'll try to get sober for a while. And then those things that they never dealt with, those issues will come back up. And they don't know how to deal with it. They won't talk about it. And the first thing they remember, I'll go get me a drink to relieve it.
Right.
And they never achieve sobriety. And it's also for people that's never been through trauma.
Of course.
Okay, you can just come and get educated about
You're
it.
right,
Because maybe you didn't go through it. Maybe one of your family members have or will. Okay, so you'll know what signs to look for. You'll know how to help them, which support groups that they can go to get the help.
And we need to have more conversation like this.
Yes.
Again, they talk about politics, they talk about other things, but they don't talk about the mental health and the drug issue. And this be a good conversation to have with her when y'all meet her. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being here with us, and thank you so much for coming on my show. You want to say anything before we lock it up?
I want to thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
And the name of my book, guys, is In the Best Interest of the Children.
All right.
That's what it's about, the children. The children are our future.
Yes.
And a lot of times things happen in our childhood that affects us when we get grown.
Right.
Okay. But we don't have to stay on drugs. We don't have to drink our lives away. There is hope. There's people out here that's overcoming things every day.
Yeah.
So come on out to the book signing on April 25th at 2:45 Garfield Heights Library.
And get some wisdom and knowledge and get some education. And maybe you can meet a good friend on top of it. Anybody writing a book or going out for politics or doing good things in the community, give me a contact number. Call me at 440-650-7063. And you can sit here and we can have a good conversation at Voices at the Table. Thank you, everybody.